Gehenna. Your days and nights everlasting have been spent on this Mega Goliath colony ship. A colony ship lost to the rest of humanity. Your neighbors are not farmers awaiting the chance to terraform the new world. No, you eat, breathe, and sleep next to the worst mankind has to offer. Murderers, rapers. Or perhaps you and your friends cast a vote for the wrong candidate that spoke out of turn against the new regime. Perhaps you ingested the wrong drug. Whatever it was, you were sentenced harshly. Years have passed. Gehenna navigates onward into uncharted areas of space, now unknown to Earth. But no one could have foreseen your future. Welcome to Abandon All Hope. Seeds of Rage. Blades and Blasters production of sci-fi horror. Starring some of Blades and Blasters' finest players. Cypher as Zero, an old convict that has spent more time behind bars than he has free. Ghost as Dr. Manus, an unfeeling serial killer who betrayed his patients and used them for his own twisted desires. Sim as Hayden, a psychopath that has long been a ward of the state. Unfortunately, no treatment has helped his tortured mind. Matihi as Tammy, a philanderer and hacker whose luck finally ran out. Was it worth this one-way trip to hell? Seeds of Rage is a Blades and Blasters mini-campaign presented by GM Tednock. Welcome to Perdition. Alright, welcome to episode 2 of Seeds of Rage. Quick recap where we left off last time. Our quote-unquote heroes, we're on a prisoner transport train and took a job from a individual named Key. He's called Key because he made key passes that actually were essentially skeleton keys. And he had a buyer in a section of the train. The player characters helped him get there. They essentially stole his keys and performed the deal without him, and got a bunch of smokes, and ended up leaving the train, and that's where we are now, as they're being kind of carted off by the custodians to their new place of residence. So...
Yeah, there was no murder or property damage at all, just so everyone's aware.
Yeah, everybody was very nice. So as the four of you are getting off the train, there's a couple... let me switch the scene, sorry. Spot. Hold on. As you get off the train, there are a couple monitored custodians that basically form around you and a group of several others, and kind of look at you, scan your convict IDs, and inform you, follow along, work detail, follow along. And they repeat your convict ID to, notify that it is you they're talking to, and it's you and maybe 6 or 7 others, and they kind of more or less herd you away from the crowd and towards a darkened part of the exit from the train tracks, and into a long corridor with flickering lights, which seems to be much unused. I'll let you guys go ahead and pick this up as you're kind of being herded that way.
Well, I wonder what they have in store for us today. Picking up trash, fixing conduits.
Oh, I hope it's not anything to do with, lifting anything heavy. Again, I'm not so good at that.
We can always find someone for that. Are you still hearing those voices, Tammy? I'm a little worried.
I'm fine. Everything's fine. I mean, there's some chatter in the background, but I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Yes, everything's fine.
Mm-hmm.
They're normal. They're your friends.
I don't know about that. Usually my friends don't talk like that.
Are they really your friends then?
Oh. Oh, God.
Come now, Hayden. Stop toying with her. Look at around you. There's so much potential. Concentrate on that.
I was not toying. I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued by you, Tammy.
Can you maybe be intrigued over there? And Tammy gestures to kind of a general area full of people.
Hayden
they look
will
nice.
Hayden will walk over there and just stare with a smile.
Dr. Manus.
Yes.
How do you propose... Do not like the word control, but focus Hayden's extracurricular activities. He is an asset, and I do not want to lose him. But he's also a bit of, how do you say?
A liability.
Indeed.
The thing with individuals like Hayden is that their focus is ultimately on one thing: satiating his desires. If you hold a means to satiate those desires, then you've achieved control. I have that. He will not be a concern. His little wordplay with Tammy is an unfortunate side effect of his personality that I hope that Tammy does not take personal, as I assume we're going to be working alongside one another for this detail. But I would say this, Tammy, it is better to be the object of his fixation than the satiation of his desires.
I mean, you're the doctor, so, I guess I might trust you on that. Just to
Good.
make myself feel better, more or less.
If it becomes too much to deal with, I will just give him a lobotomy.
Oh, well, I mean, if you're offering.
Now, I just hope it does not come to that, for I do not wish to lose Hayden's unique talents.
You would
He
not.
does have that unique air about him.
The face-eating air.
The smell of rotting flesh from his lips. It is a very effective deterrent to anyone who would think to mess with us. Yeah, us. I think our recent joyride on that train has brought the four of us closer. Not close enough, but closer. And I think, Tammy, in this place, that might just come in handy.
Well, I mean, especially in this area now, being stuck with you men, it might be better, as you say.
Ah, but Tammy, you have a role to play too. See, you are a distraction. When people look at you, they do not see us. So, don't fret. Enjoy. Enjoy all the attention. It's not very often people get to enjoy that kind of attention, you see.
How I just love being the center of attention.
And as long as you work with us, no harm will come to you. Again, assets. That's all that matters in this business. Assets and liabilities.
Yeah, I think I'm picking up what you're putting down there, Z.
Good.
So, kind of as you're talking and walking and heading down this dark corridor, the monitors turn on their high-powered flashlights to lead your way, and they take you down this very long corridor, and you start to notice that there's significant damage in this area. It appears you see open wires. You see parts of the walls are cracked, and as you continue to go deeper and deeper, you realize that it's more and more damaged. You get a certain spot, and one of the monitors wheels around and says, "There are implements here." And it kind of backs up, and you see this haphazard kind of metallic crate with breath masks, goggles, and a shovel. Each take one of each type.
Zero steps forward and takes a goggle, a mask, and a shovel, and looks quizzically at the monitor. What does the damage look like? Is it wear and tear?
It looks like something, there's been actual, like an explosion. You see scorch marks in various parts of the corridor. It's not real well lit, obviously, so it's hard to tell exactly. It could have been anything.
Could I use my previous knowledge to kind of see if it was like a bomb, or if there's a smell or any residue around?
Sure. Go ahead and roll wits, but go ahead and roll it with a D20. That's kind of a tough thing to figure out with what this all looks like.
Sure. 1d20.
Yeah, so your wits is a 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
You believe that this probably was a accident. It doesn't appear to be a bomb, just the way the explosion happened. It's a very, very large section of damage. So you assume that something, there was some accident here, a wide range occurrence, and not something that was localized and planned. You just think the destruction is too much.
Like, if it was somebody like me trying to do this to a facility like this, it would be way too much where I wouldn't be safe myself.
Yeah. It just seems like it would be something that would be out of prospect for anybody to do on this ship, just from materials, etc., etc., etc. It just seems like it would be impossible.
Sounds good. Zero looks to the rest and he says, "Be careful what you step on or touch. Something's off."
Oh. Alright. And Tammy walks up to the pile and she grabs her own mask and shovel and everything and puts it on.
Interesting. Hayden gleefully puts the stuff on, grabs the shovel.
And Manus will do the same.
So as you kind of, and there's 5 others that are with you, and they kind of do the same. Tammy, roll wits. Normal, so you can use your button.
Alright.
Yeah, you notice one of the other convicts is just staring at you. The one that is notated as Slag is just giving you the eye. He actually is the last to grab his gear because he's just sitting there just staring at you until one of the monitors just kind of nudges him and says, "Obey, obey, obey," and he finally does. But he has a hard time tearing his eyes away from you.
Tammy visibly kind of shivers a little bit, is kind of noticing Slag's gaze, and she goes over to Hayden and Hayden,
Yes, Tammy.
you see that guy over there? And she gestures over to Slag. You see that guy?
Yes.
I think he might be looking at you.
Slag, Hayden will look over at him, and does he notice he's staring at Tammy, or is it just kind of a...
Go ahead and roll wits.
Oh boy!
Well done, Tammy.
Yep.
Yeah, he's looking over in your general direction.
I think you should maybe pay him a visit later.
I'm used to people staring. Is he making you uncomfortable?
Not as much as you. So,
Oh.
you're winning.
Well, if you need to, you could always talk to me.
You got it. That's what I'm doing.
And you can just see him smiling through his eyes.
Yeah.
I mean, if the goggles are clear, that is.
Yeah, they are. So Slag is a pretty big guy, but after a while he kind of just kind of goes back to what he was doing there and doesn't really say anything. As he's kind of getting ready for whatever is about to happen, the monitor kind of rolls forward and spins around in front of all of you. Attention, prisoners. Today is work day, and to motivate you, the warden computer is willing to offer a reward to the convict who clears the most rubble in this session's allotted 8-hour time frame. Aware that many of you who find cigarette smoking pleasurable The Warden computer has decided that today's reward for showing exemplary dedication to this important task will be an additional ration of 100 cigarettes.
Interesting.
Cigarettes, they say.
Please begin to load this scrap into the bins provided. Each of you have a separate bin for your own scrap. And kind of as he says that, the other guys look at each other and immediately begin to start to haul this scrap, trying to get the 100 cigarettes.
Dr. Manus will take his scrap bin, calmly bring it over to some scrap, and begin to work at a fairly leisurely pace.
Zero is going to do the same. He is going to use his knowledge to kind of go to the center of the explosion, if he can find one.
Yeah,
and
you
start
can
working
find the most damaged area.
Yeah, so he's going to start from there. Again, not in a hurry for the smokes, but slowly. And every piece he picks up, he takes a close look, trying to form a mental image of where it would go in the room and what it was before the explosion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not 100% sure. It looks like that this is a control station for a cell block. That area to the right there is some sort of monitor control station.
He'll also keep his eyes open for anything that he could potentially salvage in that, in all this junk.
Oh, there's a lot of stuff potentially.
Yeah. So, I don't want to slow things down, but let me know when I can make certain
Yep.
goals.
Let me just get through this first. So, those that are trying to get as much scrap as they can, we're going to do an opposed roll. I'm going to do one for each of the NPCs, and then you would do one for yourself. And for Zero, I would allow you to do wits. Everybody else, it's a prowess. So if you don't want to really participate, you don't have to either. Oh wow.
I was gonna say
Interesting.
Dr. Manus will help someone try to bump up their scrap, because he doesn't really care about the cigarettes, but he's all about trying to ingratiate someone to him.
Hayden's just having fun.
Are the monitors watching everything that's happening?
Yeah, they're watching everything that's happening and producing light in the area.
Okay.
Alright. Tammy kind of makes a half-assed effort. Definitely not liking the manual labor. It's really beneath her at this point, even though she's done it for a while. But still, she acts like it's the first time. Kind of groaning every time she has to pick up anything.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Zero's role as he is picking up the trash, but not for sheer amount, but for quality as he's looking. Here's my opposed wits check. Ooh. Ooh.
And that you're trying to salvage with that roll, or that's just how much you're collecting?
Oh, so yeah, okay. So I'm just so the way I'm collecting it is not to really collect for the custodian. It's more like I'm scrounging through all this rubble, and whatever is not worthwhile, I'm just throwing in the bin.
That's fine.
But the main goal for me is to see if I can find something useful.
Okay. We'll get back to that then.
Okay.
Dr. Manus and Tammy, are you going to roll? Are you actually attempting to do this, or?
No, Tammy's
Yeah,
Definitely
Dr.
not.
Manus doesn't care about this.
Okay. Okay. These guys are working as hard as they can, just trying to get those cigarettes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not as hard as Hayden.
Damn,
No, apparently not.
not as excited.
Ooh, trash.
Gosh. So after 2 hours, literally Hayden's pile is huge compared to everyone else's, as he's just tearing into this stuff and dumping it into his bin. Thank you.
Yep.
Jeez. And so you can continue to keep going. So everybody that is involved in this, give me another roll here.
Sure.
$14. Okay, so go ahead.
No, I think
So basically 4 hours passes and you guys are just busting your ass. Well, some of you are. One of you are. Everybody else is. Slag ends up kind of moving over kind of next to Hayden, and he's kind of like looking him up and down as Hayden's pile is a lot bigger than his. And these convicts are just walking around back and forth doing various things. Can you guys give me a wits roll, please?
normal, correct?
Yeah, normal. No, actually, let's do opposed. Actually, yeah.
Everybody?
Yep.
Ooh.
Okay. Mr. Dr. Manus, I'm gonna whisper you something.
I like how you made sure you caught the Mr. Doctor.
I'm scared.
Mr. Doctor.
Mr. Doctor.
Cross your name off my list for that.
With lipstick?
Yes. Yeah, upon seeing that, I would walk over and confront him on that side. Excuse me, young man.
Oh, yo, what?
Do you think that your actions go unnoticed?
What you talking about, huh? I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna stand up and full height. And Dr. Manus is old, but he's fairly tall. I've been watching you. I've been very curious how you came over here. I've noticed that all that scrap that you have in that little pile, well, that belongs to my friend. I'm gonna put my hand on Hayden's shoulder.
Oh, yes. Yes, Dr. Manus.
Do you think it's a good idea to steal scrap from someone who looks like this?
Yeah, you can have mine. I didn't know. I thought it was hers.
Oh. So you would have stole it from the woman?
Yeah.
Hayden's gonna look a little more intrigued now.
I would kind of grip Hayden's shoulder a bit tight, like, no, I got this. Young man, I think you should go back over to where you came from. And if you come over here again, you might end up on that pile with some parts missing. Okay?
He looks between the two of you and he's like, yeah, I'll tell you what, I think they're taking us back to the cell block. You're like the new recruits. I give you a discount in my shop.
Where's your shop?
In my cell.
Which cell is that?
Well, we'll be in the same cell block. You'll see me.
Oh, yeah, I shall see you.
We'll look forward to it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, perhaps you should,
Yeah, I gotcha. And he kind of just hustles away very quickly. Yeah, he kind of looks over his shoulder as he starts digging the scrap again.
Hayden seeing that his scrap pile is there and... He thought he was stealing from Tammy, huh?
Yes, he did. I would let go of Hayden and walk back to my pile.
Hayden's gonna just sit, put the shovel under his chin with his hands there and just kind of stare at the group over there.
So the monitor custodian blows a whistle and break time 5 minutes, and everybody kind of stops hauling scrap, although some of them actually keep going, trying to get the actual smokes. But Slag actually kind of like walks over towards Tammy.
And Tammy kind of removes her mask and lights up one of her smokes. Can I help you?
Just never seen a pretty lady like you here.
Oh, I mean, take a picture.
He looks very confused by that. What you mean? What you doing here?
What am I doing here? Doing my job. That's what I'm doing. What are you doing here?
I'm looking at my cellmate.
Well, I mean, you can go all the way over there and look at your cellmate from there. How about that,
You got a smart lip on you. I should smack it. You'll see.
Oh, at least I got something smart on me.
He doesn't get it. He just kind of looks at you and he's like, what you mean?
That's okay. I don't really have the time or the energy to explain it.
Manus would nod to Zero and sort of over in the direction where Slag is at, talking to Tammy. After Manus was enjoying a nice, dehydrated protein snack that I'm sure we're all getting for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Zero just walks up and how do I roll an attack with my shovel?
Oh shit.
Oh,
Just roll your prowess roll. Do an opposed prowess roll. So he's like just standing there, and you swing it, and at the last moment he kind of sees you out of the corner of his eye and kind of brings up his arm, and you just hit him across the wrist, and you're like, ah! As you hear this crack, and he kind of like stumbles away, and the monitors, there's actually 2 of them here, just speed in on you, and they're going to immediately attempt to trank you. So you can oppose it with your reflex if you would like. Yeah. So basically, it just tranks you in the back, and you stumble forward and pass out.
So what's the chance that Hayden sees like something sharp laying on the ground or something?
Oh God.
I'd say it's probably pretty likely.
I mean, he doesn't care if it cuts his own hands. That's all. It doesn't have to be like anything particular. All right.
Yeah, you...
You want need a roll for it or
No. You find something. Piece of steel or something?
Yeah, Hayden just slyly kind of picks up a piece of steel with a sharpened edge on it. You know, maybe a pointy one. And then starts walking towards the slag guy.
So the monitor basically begins to like close in on you as well. So what are you gonna do as the monitor races towards you?
Like, how fast is he coming? Would I have enough for right now? He hears the monitor coming and he stops. And he stops short of slag and he takes his goggles off and his mask off and... Hello, friend.
Obey, obey, obey. And it just immediately tries to trank you as well.
Oh boy.
Should've went for the
Resisting.
Should've went for the stabby stab.
Oh no.
Alright, am I rolling for that again?
Reflexes.
Oh, that's...
You dodge aside if you would like.
Yeah, I'm gonna dodge aside, and as I'm dodging, I'm assuming I'm kind of close to slag, right?
Fairly close, yeah. Enough to attack if you really wanted to.
Yeah, as I'm dodging aside, I'm gonna kind of lean in towards him and try to take the pointy end, and I want to put it up his nose.
Try to stab him.
Oh my God.
Through the nose though, like I want it to go up and in.
Let me see what the improvised weapon damage is. Hold on. What's wrong?
This has gone tits up in rapid time. Just as an aside, Dr. Manus is just calmly standing next to Tammy.
Go ahead and roll me a D. How about D4? Well, actually, let me see if he dodges first.
Dude.
No, D4.
Hayden doesn't disappoint.
So you go to stab him in the nose, and he kind of flinches away, and it cuts him under the eye, this big gash, and he's just like starting to bleed.
Oh, now Hayden's really excited.
Tammy and Dr. Manus, what do you do?
I'm standing there watching. I'm
Okay.
not fighting.
Yep.
I'm just watching this unfold.
Tammy looks over to Dr. Manus, and a smile kind of creeps across her face. My bad.
So Slag is sitting there, and he's like bloody, and he just like, oh, what was that? And he just kind of tries to punch you in the face.
That's a reflex, right?
Yep, reflexes.
Ooh, he got me.
Yep. So he just punches you in the nose hard, and it kind of like stuns you as you kind of stagger back just a bit. But at the same time, these two monitors both attempt to stab you with their tranks.
Alright, that -2 from that one, right?
You actually,
You're getting surrounded.
yes.
Oh, shoot.
So now, basically, you're gonna, when you roll your defense, you're gonna roll a D8 instead of a D12.
Okay, so...
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll it and see.
Alright, so I'm rolling a D8.
Yep, D8. Just roll a D8, yeah. So 7. What's your reflexes?
I think, picture sheet. I think it's a 10 or a 9. It's a 10 or a 9. One
So
or the
you
other.
get hit. You get hit anyway, even if you have a 10. I got trank real quick. Yeah. So I probably should have done this earlier, but so they stab you in the back as well, and you kind of get like lightheaded and collapse to the ground, unconscious. Second time, or no, you didn't get tranked last time. And they go, and they don't stop. They go straight to Slag and do the same thing, immediately tranking him as the others just kind of watch. Obey, 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 obey. Dr. Manus and Tammy, what's kind of your response here?
Should we help them?
No. They made their decisions. They're just going to rest for a little while.
Alright. Hey, we should at least drag them back over here.
I don't think we should try to touch them when the monitors are so close. They might think that we're disobeying.
Yeah, the monitors attempt to get you back to work. Work, 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 work. And they kind of like, one pushes towards these guys and one pushes towards you.
Good luck getting the smokes. Dr. Manus will go back over to his scrap pile.
And Tammy kind of spits out her cigarette, puts back on her mask, and starts casually digging.
As you do, another monitor arrives, another couple monitors actually, and they scoop up all the unconscious bodies and wheel them away. You work for the rest of the day and then are eventually escorted back to a cell block. You don't know who won this contest or if it was still on after the fight, but you're tucked away in this down this hallway into a cell block, and you're put immediately into your cells. And they leave you there. As one of the monitors leaves, says, "Lights out, lights out, lights out, 1 hour. Lockdown due to misbehavior. Lockdown due to misbehavior." And it kind of speeds off into the security station. And yeah, just 1 second. So those that were unconscious are laying in their cots, and they begin to wake up at this point.
So what's my health look like from getting hit? Is that too the damage it did?
Yeah,
right?
but you're fine right now.
Okay.
It was not lethal damage, so it's back.
Gotcha.
So you guys can see each other from across the way there, and Zero and Manus are directly next to each other. Tammy's actually kind of by herself over there in the corner, and Hayden is next to one of the other convicts that you had seen, who is just sitting there looking through each cell. To the other side is this opaque kind of plastic, and he's kind of looking at Hayden very nervously.
Hayden's gonna open his eyes. Well, it may seem like I got punched in the nose earlier. And he's gonna sit up, kind of like the Undertaker does, you know.
Yeah.
And he's gonna look over to his right at Jimmy.
It wasn't me, man. That was bullshit. I saw what happened. I'm on your side, man.
My side.
Yeah. He's
With
kinda-
that, Hayden's. Oh, go ahead.
No, he's just is looking very nervously.
Hayden's gonna shift his weight so his legs are off the bed, and he's gonna stand up, do a little stretch and a neck crack, and gonna start walking over towards the opaque plastic sheet wall.
He backs up away from it.
Who are you?
Jimmy, just Jimmy.
Jimmy. Are you afraid, Jimmy?
No, I'm not afraid.
You smell like you are.
You must have some good sense of smell. All I can smell is shit.
All I can smell is your fear and the blood that's dried on me. Do you smell that, Jimmy?
No.
You should. It smells glorious.
He just kind of scratches his chin and says, okay, maybe next time.
Yes. Next time. And with that, Hayden is gonna stand there and put his hands on the plastic and lean there and just kind of awkwardly stand there and stare at him.
Okay. He's like looking away and kind of goes over to the corner and it's kind of, okay. Sits on his toilet away from you.
This is an interesting view.
Uh-huh. What are the rest of you doing as Hayden is staring at the guy next to him?
Zero wakes up opens his eyes and he's like, that stung a little. And he kind of looks to his left and right and he says, Dr. Manus.
Yes, Zero.
Well, what did ever happen in that place after our little fun?
We shoveled more scrap and then came back here. Pretty much the extent of things. No one apparently got the cigarettes.
Well, that's still a win, I would say. You still have that card on you?
I do. Why do you ask?
Well, we never got to test them.
Is that monitor custodian sitting in the room?
He's in the security station, which is you can't see in, but you would know that they have camera views to all the parts of the cell block.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not of a mindset to test it at this time, given that we do have a custodian among us, even if it may be inert or inactive.
But I would like to know if the door is gonna... Well, patience, I guess.
It may leave for lights out, or lights out may make it easier to move around. At that time, I imagine that we will perhaps try to satiate Hayden's beast a bit. We do know of someone who Hayden wants to pay a visit.
Ah. Well. I guess there is something to look forward to this evening.
Maybe.
And then Zero lies down back on the bed, hands behind his head, legs crossed, stretched out, and starts whistling.
So what is Tammy doing? Kind of over there by herself.
Mhm. So Tammy kind of enjoys the solitude for once, finally kind of getting to be alone. She lies back on her bed, kind of getting comfortable, lighting up another smoke, and just taking some long drags. So she quickly finishes one, she goes to another, just happy to finally kind of be away from those other people.
Mm-hmm. Not much happens over the next hour, and lights out happens in the modern. Lights out activated, and over your bunks, all the lights go off, but the hallway remains illuminated, although slightly dimmed. So if you wish to try to do anything at night, you can, but
Are you going to sleep, Jimmy?
I would like to. He goes over to his cot and like tries to tug it away from the wall where you're looking at him, but it is fastened down to the floor with bolts, so he's unable to do so. And he kind of just sighs. How about you? Maybe you should.
I love the night. I feel so alive.
I'm tired. So see you tomorrow, I guess.
Aren't you gonna lay down?
He goes over into the corner, the opposite corner, and just kind of puts his back against the wall.
And Hayden doesn't move. Just lets out the chuckle.
Okay. How about the rest of you? Anything else you're going to do?
So, out of character, out of game.
Mhm.
Given that we've been here for 5 years, what is our general routine like?
Yep. So basically, you sit in your cell for 22 hours a day. Well, not in your cell, in your cell block. So typically, they let you wander around in your cell block, which includes this room and another one that's identical directly to the screen's left, but you have to go through a little hallway to get there. Some days they do take you to the cafeteria twice a day for a half an hour. Then at or probably 1000 hours, they call lights out, and then you return to your cells. They lock them, and you go to sleep. Once a week, you're able to shower, and that's really your routine. Sometimes you get lucky-ish and get to go out on a work day or something like that, but that's generally what happens.
So to be caught outside of lights out is a no bueno. Minor custodians will trank the shit out of you if found.
They will.
Much.
They will. And you have seen people who have escaped their cells. They get tranked and usually taken away somewhere.
Nah. So Dr. Manus, knowing that, will begin to do his usual procedures of making his bed very neatly before he sleeps in it. Fluffing up whatever pillow, if any, doubtful. But
yeah, you have a very thin pillow.
And he will lay on it flat-backed, will not try to attempt anything that looks even remotely comfortable, just flat-back, staring straight up at the ceiling and attempt to go to sleep. Unless otherwise perturbed by someone.
Yeah, you guys can let the night pass if you would like.
Yep.
Yeah. Hayden eventually will make his way to his bed and be there, but make sure to wake up early so he could be back in his spot when Jimmy wakes up.
So, you do get some sleep. You're tired. Those that have been tranked, kind of, the tranquilizer does kind of affect you for the rest of the night, makes you groggy, etc. Those that worked all day, you're just tired from the manual labor, no matter how much effort you really put into it. And at 0600 hours, the lights just come on above your cell, and you hear ching ching, and your doors open, and you hear the monitor custodian state, "Free access to cell block. Obey, obey, obey. Breakfast in 1 hour." And so the doors open or become basically unlocked.
Dr. Manus would get up and redress, as he does sleep in the nude, and will redress and walk outside and stretch a bit.
Where are you going, Jimmy?
Oh my god!
So before he gets, yeah, he like races out towards the monitor. He's like, "Well, yeah. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want, man?"
You smell different now.
Okay. He's like, I don't have any problem with you guys. I don't have any problem with you guys. I know this cell block. I've been here for a year, so yeah, I'll answer any questions you got. It can be a real help to you guys. Just yeah, that one. I'm no problem. I'm no trouble.
Out of character, it just reminds me of that commercial with the Scottish guy. Jimmy! That's thinking with your dipstick. Imagine Hayden chasing him around.
The timing couldn't have been more perfect than all that. So seeing Jimmy kind of walking away and losing his intrigue, as soon as Tammy comes out, he'll make his way to Tammy. Good morning, Tammy.
Man, I kind of thought I was back in the women's section. You don't look like a woman.
No, I don't.
Unfortunately.
How did you sleep?
I slept alright. As alright as you can. Oh, how about you? Sleep good?
I did.
Oh, good.
Have you met Jimmy?
I haven't had the opportunity to meet Jimmy. Is he your cellmate?
Yes.
Oh, you like him?
I don't know yet.
Oh, hey.
Come, I shall introduce you.
Oh, okay. I mean, maybe you should introduce the voices too. They might like him. I like him a lot.
Oh, they may.
Oh.
And they'll start walking to Jimmy again.
Jimmy is getting surrounded, and he's like, hi.
Hi, Jimmy.
Jimmy, this is Tammy.
Hi, Tammy. Are you from the block up the road there?
If you mean by road, just over there, and she points over to her cell. Yeah.
He kind of scratches his chin. He's like, there's a female block just up to 1 block up the mag train. D5135. See, I know things. This is 5134, if you didn't know.
Huh. Female block, you say? Interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks for the information there, Jimbo.
Yeah, no problem. Talk to Radio. He's got a pipe that's in his cell. He talks to him sometimes.
Ah.
What does he talk about, Jimmy? You seem to know a lot about a lot.
Well, I've been in the cell block for a year. He kind of scratches his temple and he's like, one of the girls, she performs for Smokes, dirty talk and stuff.
That's an option? Huh.
Do you need Smokes, Tammy?
I got quite a few, but I mean, kind of go through them pretty quick sometimes.
Hayden will hand Tammy 10 of his Smokes.
Oh, thanks.
No problem, Tammy.
Oh, is this gonna cost me anything?
No.
Oh, good.
Just kind of looks at Tammy and he's, I don't know where they would put you in this cell block. I think everybody would be cool, I think, except Slag, wherever he went. He's gonna be pissed. And he kind of looks at Zero. He's not one to be messed with. I think he's a part of the psychos now.
The psychos? How original.
Who are they?
You guys can give me a wits roll.
Ooh.
Don't even bother, Hayden.
Thank you.
Manus and Zero know the Ultramax Psychos to be a prison gang. One that is... You guys came from various very, very distant D-block locations. Tammy as well. And, hey, all four of you. And they didn't have much influence there, but they were growing in size, and they're brutal murderers. Just basically thugs. He's got friends. I don't know. He never came back last night, though. He's not here. It might have taken him to the infirmary for his wrist. Looks like he broke it, man. Looks at Zero.
Mm-hmm. That was satisfying. Well, he's lucky only his wrist is broken. So tell me, Jimmy, what do these psychos do?
Oh, well, mostly they shake people down for Smokes. I think, I don't know much. They're pretty badass, though. I think Radio would know more. He's in the other block there. He kind of just points toward the doors. He's got all the info. He's got that pipe in his cell. He can hear a lot of shit. A lot of people tell him stuff. I don't know much. Sorry, man.
Any of the other guys who were with you? Well, yesterday, any of them part of the psychos?
Oh, no. Sugar's just got a little shop in his cell. He's got some shit in there he sells. And then there's me, and then there's Sarge, and Sarge doesn't really say much. He kind of stays to himself. And that's all in here. We had a couple more, but they got moved out, so...
Well, lead the way, Jimmy. I'm all ears to listen to what Radio has to tell us about the psychos.
Okay. I can take you. You sure? You need me to take you? It's just through there.
No.
Yeah.
You make the introductions now that you have met all of us and said, exchanged names and we are cellmates and...
Oh, I mean, I don't know your name, man.
Oh, my name? Oh, my name's just Zero.
He kind of looks down at your ID and he's like, okay. I know Tammy and Zero, and kind of looks at Manus and then over his shoulder at Hayden. Hey, yeah, it's not really a big deal. Come on with me. I'll take you to Radio. He starts walking, giving Hayden a wide berth as he does so.
Hayden will sniff at him as he walks by. After you, Tammy.
Thanks, Hayden.
Dr. Manus will wait for the two of them to go ahead of him.
Something here. No. Sorry, I'm having slight technical difficulty.
That is some terrifying and post-traumatic stress disorder, amplifying Dead Space ambient sound music. My brain is rackled with despair.
So many things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Little noises.
You just don't understand. It's so rough.
So as you cross these doors, there's a small essentially what you would consider a hallway, quote unquote, and there's monitors on each end, and all these cell blocks are generally the same. To the south are the showers. A lot of people call it Rape Alley. So basically what happens, the monitors, at least in your cell blocks, so you assume everywhere, the monitors have been forcing everybody to go in at the same time, but the monitors are all there, so it's decreased any unwelcome sexual encounters or welcome sexual encounters in the showers. Otherwise, to the north is another security station, and then as you go through the door to the other side, it's just more of the same. And Jimmy kind of stops here and he points up to this guy who's kind of just hanging outside his cell, just sitting there. He's like, yeah, that's radio. I'll be over. I got some things to do over here. And he kind of starts to walk away.
Bye, Jimmy.
He does not respond. And radio looks down from the edge of the sun. It's like, hey there. You're the one that gave the slag the good licking with that shovel.
Well, it looks like he survived. Should have done a better job the first time around. And now it seems my pleasant friend Jimmy has told me about somebody called the Psychos. Somebody Slag hangs around with. Someone not to be messed with. And he said if anyone knows anything about the Psychos, that would be you, Radio.
Oh, yeah, I know a little about the Psychos.
Well, pray do tell. I'm all ears.
You looking for something specific, or...?
I want something of everything. Everything you know about the Psychos.
Well, as far as I know, they started, a few blocks up. That's where their boss is, a guy named Blade, he calls himself. I don't know, big black guy. Smokes cigars, actually. Yeah, that's what they say, at least in the radio room here. And he kind of points over his shoulder. And this is, I have a bunch of pipes that come in here, see, and can communicate to some of the other cell blocks nearby. There's a woman's cell block. It's actually quite just adjacent to us, actually. And he kind of looks at Tammy, and he's like, are you from there? It's strange that you'd be here. I think probably everybody's told you that, but...
Yeah. I get that a lot. Actually just, sleeping kind of nearby. But kind of interested in this nearby women's block you're talking about.
C, she's the main person people talk to around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every day, 2 p.m.
And Jimmy said something very curious, that there was somebody in the women's block that would,
Oh yeah, that's
how do
her.
you say?
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say. Yeah, that's her.
Well, what I found curious is not her method, but it seems she gets paid in smokes, and I wonder, how do you end up, or someone ends up giving her the smokes? I'm assuming that.
Yeah,
Not everybody.
through the cafeteria.
I see. So the cafeteria is the meeting ground.
Yeah, we gotta go through a third party though, because the monitors are pretty wise to having anybody go up to the the females, and yeah, they'll trank you thinking you're going to go in for but yeah, we got a system. Sugar Daddy over there, he's the one who passes over the smokes, and we give him a little cut, or she does, I should say, to get her the smokes, and yeah, and I take a cut for the use of my room, and he kind of like gives a frown and he's like shrugs. Yeah, whatever. Gotta make money somehow.
Indeed, we all just trying to survive, Radio. I understand completely. Tell me, where does Slag bunk for the night, if he was here?
Oh, he's in your block. He's that corner room on the north side.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And how many of these psychos are in this block? Do they run the block?
Oh shit. They're not in our specific block here, just Slag, but there's a few of them around. He kind of thinks for a minute. Man, I guess probably about 30 of them maybe total. That's an estimated guess, or educated guess, I guess you'd say.
Well, thank you for your time, Radio. You have been most educating to me.
Cool. Well, if you want to use the radio room, just let me know. It's pretty cheap. Usually I just take a cig every 10 minutes or so. But, you're new here, so I'll give you your first use of the room. It's free.
Radio, I thank you for that kind and generous offer. Did make a rain check on that?
Sure. Kind of just looks at everybody and kind of nods and just sits there.
And Dr. Manus seeing Sugar Daddy and remembering Sugar Daddy's offer of shop discounts and having a ton of cigarettes shoved everywhere in his body is quite interested in looking at the man's wares. He's going to walk over to Sugar Daddy.
He will follow.
Yeah, look, it's the homie with the good vision, huh?
Hello.
2020 when I wear these glasses.
Yeah, what can I do for you?
I believe you said you had some wares. I am an interested buyer.
Okay. Yeah. Well, come on over to my cell. It's all in there. Just kind of begins to meander back over here.
He's the one that thought he stole the script from Tammy, right?
He is, but behave yourself, please.
So what you want? Let's see what I got here. pulls out a small box from underneath his bunk. And give me 1 second to find this list.
Mm-hmm. I should have kept all the smokes.
Shoulda. Coulda.
No one even asked. I could have just kept all 300 shoved up my ass. No one would know better.
Got that loose for O-ring, huh?
Mm-hmm. Right. I'm a doctor. I know how to. I can enlarge my anus on demand.
Somebody taught you how to keister good.
Mm-hmm. I thought myself.
Self-taught rectal exams.
There's no better way to learn. If you can't do it on yourself, how are you going to do it on someone else? Sam was very tickled by that one.
So,
stop laughing again.
So he opens it, and you see inside. It looks like there's a riot baton, a couple syringes, something in a glass bottle, hydrogen cells which power flashlights and stuff, and then a light rod. Yeah, this is what I got.
These shivs are sharp instruments.
Just these syringes.
How much for the riot club?
You gotta. That's a tough one. How much you got?
Depends. I do like discounts though.
You like what?
Discounts.
Oh, discounts. I guess for you. How about 50 for the riot baton?
And with that, he'll grab his smokes and give him 50 smokes for a riot baton.
Yeah, make sure you come in here, and he kind of takes you deeper into the cell, and he kind of takes the smokes, looks at them, throws them in the little box, and then passes you the baton and says, "Yeah, stick this down your pants, man. You don't want the monitor to see it and just take it from you. I ain't giving it back if you get it taken away once you leave the cell."
Thank you. This should come to some good use.
This syringe is full of fluid.
There's nothing in the syringes currently, no.
How many syringes does he have?
2.
The syringes? Look at them.
They're dirty syringes.
Oh, I just mean I was inquiring with him.
Oh, about how much they are?
Mm-hmm.
20 each.
You have a deal. Put 40 smokes on the table.
All right. It's a good day for me, I guess.
If you happen to come across any sharp implements, shivs, or something cleaner, something more professional, also any medical supplies, I would be interested in those things.
He kind of thinks about that one and says, "Yeah, the only medical supplies I know is, well, there should be a first aid kit at the monitor station there, and both of them." Kind of shrugs. He's like, "This is jump. You know what jump is?" And he points to the liquid in there.
Do I know what jump is?
Yeah, I would think you do. So jump is basically a crude convict manufactured narcotic. It's basically
upper or downer?
Upper jump.
Oh yes. How much for this jump?
Well, Let me tell you, this jump, though, is good stuff. 100 for the jump.
Oh, I can definitely afford that. Let me see. 40, I'm down to 185. Yeah, Manus just starts pulling out wads of cigarettes until he gets 100.
Yeah, Sugar Daddy's eyes kind of grow white. Did you win yesterday?
No. I won in different ways that I am not at liberty to discuss.
Well, shit.
But if you're able to procure things like this for me more often, I can say safely you will have a buyer for them.
Yeah, cool. Well, we're going to the cafeteria today, and I'm gonna have some smokes, so might be able to find something you're looking for.
If you can get me a shiv, I will pay you for it.
Alright. I might be able to do that. Yeah,
Very
good.
good.
Who you gonna shiv, though? I should know.
I don't know if you should know how I'm going to shiv someone or what the purpose of the shiv will be.
As long as you're not shivving me, I guess. Or somebody
No.
that knows that I'm buying it and giving it to you.
No.
Well, I know you got in a fight with Slag. If I get you a shiv and Ultramax Psychos know that I got you a shiv, then I'm fucked.
I will not be using my shiv on Slag. That was an altercation between my partners and him that I was not involved in. You have no concerns, Sugar Daddy. This will not be an issue for you. This is for my own personal use.
Alright, well, that'll be 50 when I get it. Might take a couple days, I don't know.
Very good. I will have 50 whenever you procure it. I'm looking forward to a long and prosperous business relationship.
Alright. Any of your friends want anything?
Right
I want
about
from
then,
them that you're selling.
Zero kind of walks up from behind Dr. Manus and he says, interesting wares you got there, mister.
Sugar Daddy.
Sugar Daddy. That's quite on the nose, one would say. Well, Sugar Daddy, what have you got?
Well, your
Hydrogen
friends
cells,
about bought me
lights.
out.
Well, you still seem to have something behind there. Is that a hydrogen cell?
Oh yeah, I got 10 of them.
And a light stick?
And a light stick.
Well,
Find yourself in the dark, you might need it.
how much for the light stick?
Oh shit. 10 smokes? I'll throw in a hydrogen cell for free.
And I would know how long a hydrogen...
Say it again.
I would know how long a single hydrogen cell would last.
Yeah, if, I mean,
it might be used.
yeah, if it's not used, you would guess like continued use of a hydrogen cell, like not turning it off, would be like 8 hours.
Perfect. And he says, well, I expect these are fully charged, Sugar Daddy.
Well, as far as I know,
As far as you know,
they all work.
And the
I've
light
tested them. I can tell you that. You can test them on the light rod right here. I'm not selling bogus shit, man. If they don't work, you come back to me and I'll get you another one for free.
Well, that's my kind of a businessman who stands by his product. No worries. Zero kind of pats his pocket and pulls out 10 smokes, and he says, here you go.
Cool.
Hydrogen cell and a light stick.
And he passes it over. He's like, I don't have shit else to sell you. He's like, let me ask you though. And he kind of looks past Manus to Tammy, and he's like, now I'm not a handsy sort, but I mean, I don't know what you're selling here. If you're selling anything, if you know what I mean.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was thinking about getting to the marketplace, but gotta discuss with some other potential clients. Make sure I'm making the right price for it. You know how it is. Business.
Girl, I tell you, you can make some money in this place.
Think?
Mm-hmm. Just not Sarge. He's one of those religious weirdos, but everybody else. Probably not Slag either. He'd probably just knock you over the head.
Oh, well. Kind of good without that, you know.
Yeah, ain't we
Edward.
all? Jimmy got knocked over the head by Slag once, and Jimmy was in the infirmary for a while. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, if you have any business opportunities, let me know.
I got one.
Oh.
I got a lot of smokes here that I just earned. If these fine fellas would interrupt that monitor, you could come on in here.
Tammy thinks for a moment, looking at the smokes. So, how much would you give me?
He kind of considers, and he's like, what are we talking about?
Depends what you want.
It's like, well, it's been over 5 years. 100 for the works.
Deal.
He nods and he's like, well, that sounds mighty good to me. I'll pay your friends here a couple smokes to keep that monitor busy. Or else he's just gonna come in here and fuck it all up. Not in a good way.
What do you mean?
He just kind of smiles at you. And as he kind of looks over his shoulder, nods, and he's like, so you boys mind go bugging that monitor there for a while so we can do business?
Sugar Daddy, are you a Minuteman?
Fuck. He like looks at you and he's like, it's been, and he kind of thinks, and he's like, yeah, I'm probably a Minuteman.
I missed all this, but I know what's going on, so no worries. Yeah, Dr. Manis has made his transaction. He'll leave it to Zero or Hayden if they want to participate in this.
Hayden has no idea.
So you want to go ahead with this, Tammy?
I mean, 100 smokes is 100 smokes. You know what I'm saying?
Can't deny.
He kind of leans forward and he's like, it might be inflation, but fuck. It's been a long time. This is gonna be worth it.
Well, not expecting much, but hey.
Oh shit, I don't really care much what you expect.
This game.
Alright.
Just so you know, Tammy, I don't think he's inverted, so.
Well, I mean, for 100 smokes, I'll do an outverted one.
Well, that's pretty raw of you, Tammy. Fine. Have fun.
I won't.
He doesn't care. He turns around and walks back into his cell.
And Tammy follows.
Tammy follows, and as she does, there's a an alarm. 0600 breakfast. Report to the train. Report to the train.
Oh man.
And Sugar Daddy's like, fuck. He's like, what time? Fuck. Alright. Rain check on this, I guess, baby.
Alright, well, I mean, if it's a rain check, Can I at least get part of it up front, just to make sure it's back, you know?
He looks down at her and, oh shit. He's like, this is a bad business deal for me. Fine, how much you want?
Just 25 up front. It's all
25 up front? What for? What do I get? You got some, probably some granny panties they give you. At least give me those.
good. Sure. Make it 30.
It's like, no, 25. And the monitors like starts coming out. Obey, 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 obey. As everybody's just kind of sitting around.
Oh shit! Where is the door?
Oh, he went out. He went out the side there. That way. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, Zero is kind of standing in the way, moving, but not resisting. He's like, huh? What you talking about, monitor? Huh?
Obey, obey.
Manny
Report to
immediately
train
gets out of the
for
way.
cafeteria for sustenance.
All right. But Zero is just being like extremely slow to move out of the way, but not threatening at the same time.
Yeah.
And Tammy will take this time to artfully remove her panties.
You tuck around the corner to the empty cell and do so, and he's like waiting, and he looks very, very happy. And he's like, "Yeah, sure, 30 here. Just when we get back, first thing, okay? I got a situation here." And he just like
You
kind
got
of
it.
pushes down on his crotch,
Fucking
You got it, buddy.
and he takes them, and he like turns around and like hides his face from you, but he's doing one of those.
fuck's sake.
Hayden notices finally what was going on over there and sees him smelling the panties. What is that all about?
Don't mind it, Aiden. It's all good.
And
That's the most expensive pair of panties that hit anyone's balls.
he stuffs them down his own pants as you all are being forced to head towards the train to take you to the cafeteria.
Does he hand over the smokes?
Oh yeah, he hands over the 30 smokes, definitely. Yeah, so you can add that to your all the equipment, you guys. Please just notate it down on your character sheet somewhere, and how many smokes you have expended or get. I'll leave it up to you to trust that you do that. So let's take 5 minutes, and then we will continue.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, Tammy. Hayden gave you 10 smokes earlier.
That's true.
She's probably smoked them though.
All gone now.
Hayden was clueless of what was going on until he sees panty sniff. Now he's kind of wondering what he's looking for.
He likes the smell too.
Wonder what he has there.
Maybe you should take it.
Well, I mean, if you knew what there was, you might not necessarily take it.
Like, this doesn't smell like fear. This isn't fun.
It smells
Gonna
like Tammy.
pull a Freddy Krueger and got your nose. Take nose from Sugar Daddy.
Yeah, because he is very, very intrigued by Tammy.
Oh boy. Poor Tammy.
Hey, it worked out for Jodie Foster, right?
Sure.
Kinda, yeah, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, she never had anything to worry about. Hannibal always had her back. Still, my favorite part in both Silence of the Lambs was the part where he's eating Ray Liotta's brains when he's still alive. I was like, that is creepy, but great.
He fed Ray Liotta his own fucking brain, too.
Mhm. Sauteed it right up, and Ray Liotta was so happy.
Tastes good.
I'm glad you could join us.
I remember watching like all of Hannibal. I was so disappointed in the third season. So bad.
I
So
tried.
bad.
I tried, and I was like, Hannibal would be great on a pay channel. If they did it right.
Oh, it was on network TV?
No, it was on,
Yeah.
it was on Netflix, right?
Was it?
Yeah, it was on
Was
Netflix.
Was it on
Yeah.
Netflix? I thought it
I
was
think
on
it's still on
network
Netflix.
first.
Pretty sure it was AMC.
I don't have cable.
Yeah, I thought it was like a
It,
network
it
one
might be
first.
on Netflix now, but what was it originally on?
I think it was on AMC. Let's take a look. Let's
Yeah.
have a look, see.
Well, yeah, the
I'm
third
pretty
season
sure
was
it was
just
free.
garbage. Though the food always looked really good.
NBC.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Like I said, if it was on a pay thing, I think I probably would have paid more attention. Because I'm like, what really can they do? Like Hannibal, the Silence of the Lambs, the was it the Red Dragon and Silence of the Lambs 2. I mean, those are Hannibal was all like great movies, but they were able to show and do things that you wouldn't see in network TV.
True. That stayed pretty good though.
No, it wasn't horribly bad or nothing.
They're
I've seen
discussing bringing it back. I think they
No.
should go Netflix.
Yeah, they had more liberty on
trust it.
Netflix.
I would trust Netflix.
Maybe.
100%.
I mean, I think there's gonna have to be a change when they do it.
Yeah. Maybe not so pretentious.
It's fucking Hannibal Lecter.
I know, but it's like it was good the first two seasons, but then it's just like, oh, it's just so hoity-toity in the third season. I'm like, I'm not into this anymore. It's like I just want to see him eat people, and it looked good. Come on.
I just had to hang up that it's Hannibal Lecter without it being, who it was, Anthony Hopkins. It's like, to me, that's Hannibal Lecter.
Anthony Hopkins is like one of the best psychos ever in anything.
Mm-hmm. I've never seen him do a bad role.
He's pretty solid in that one where he was the possessed priest.
Oh yeah.
He slapped the shit out of that little kid.
Last Exorcism, was it called? Was that what
No, I don't remember what it was. It might have been that. I don't remember though. I remember he slapped the hell out of some little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like something serious, then slapped the mom's ass. Like he was doing some crazy shit in that one.
Self-possessed.
Mm-hmm.
He was good in one where he's crashed in the airplane with Baldwin. Can't remember what it's called, but basically his wife is doing him and Baldwin at the same time, and he figures it out, but he doesn't do nothing to him.
Yeah.
Then the bear comes along.
There's one where he got busted for. Oh, go ahead.
Very fine. I think everybody's back, so I don't think most of us didn't leave. But anyway, okay. So you take the train a short distance to this mess hall. In this mess hall are probably 200 people in a location that's meant for probably half that much. They sit at these tables crammed in, packed. And as you kind of walk and stand in line for a good 20 minutes waiting to get your slop, and you're just kind of standing in line. So, and there's monitor custodians. There's like two just standing nearby. There's probably a half a dozen in this entire place. So you guys can feel free to role play as you're just standing in line waiting for this food.
So much potential for chaos, wouldn't you say, Dr. Manus, Tammy?
Yeah, I mean, could totally start something if that's what you're referring to.
Indeed. Just for shits and giggles.
Oh yeah, just this is something fun to do,
Hayden, hearing any voices? What did they say right now? I'm curious.
I am a little bit famished.
But only a nibble, Hayden. Not the full buffet today. Let's see what we can get up to in this place.
That Hayden will walking through the masses of people, making his way to somewhere where there's food.
Yeah, standing in line behind you is there's a few in front as you're getting closer. There's a man standing behind you, and he's kind of like looking Tammy up and down. He's like, "Aren't you supposed to be over there?" And he points, and there's a section where there's probably a dozen female prisoners kind of quarantined off from the rest of the mass of people in here. You see one man kind of get too close, and one of the monitor custodians like kind of push him back roughly with its tentacles.
You know, I was kind of wondering that myself. You know, I'm not over there with them. But, you know, I'm here now.
He kind of shrugs and doesn't seem all that interested. Just kind of asked kind of idly, it seemed like. So, you hear these raised voices in the back of the room. "Fuck you, bitch!" And so on and so forth. And two guys just start pushing each other. And then all of a sudden you see multiple guys start like throwing down. One sec. And you're in line with the rest of your cell block, and radio kind of leans in quickly and says, "Oh shit, man, that's Blade. That's the Ultramax Psychos back there."
Oh, who are they?
That other person.
That's the Jailhouse Giants, I think, yeah. And they begin like fighting, and these monitors just start sprinting away from you and going to like take care of that. As they do, I would like everyone to roll wits.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Normal or opposed?
Guess who's
Normal.
getting jumped, motherfuckers?
Normal.
Ooh,
Ho-ho!
I noticed everything.
Damn.
Everybody passes except Hayden. So kind of you didn't notice before, but kind of standing in the corner is someone you recognize.
Ah,
And he stands there and he's like, "Motherfucker. Hey, you bitch." And he says, "I'm calling your ass out. Me and you, toe to toe."
Who's he talking to?
He's talking to the back of your head because you don't see him.
Oh, okay.
It's, we know who it is.
And as, Hayden's kind of looking around, he's not quite sure what's up. Zero walks past him and taps on his shoulder and says, "That would be me, Hayden."
You old man, I'll fuck you up.
Let's see, Hayden, if you smell the fear tonight. And Zero just walks up, just smiles, and all of that he's saying in whispers, but for all the talk that Slag is doing, Zero is just smiling.
Okay. Let's roll initiative, you and I. If anybody else is going to get involved, they can.
initiative for now if I decide to, but right now Dr. Manus is a passive observer.
Same with Hayden.
Yeah, just everybody go ahead and roll it, just cause.
Dr. Manus will idly eat his sludge or slog, whatever the fuck this is, slop. That's the word I'm looking for as he watches Zero defend his manhood.
Hayden will start eating somebody else's plate and food.
Yeah, the people are like scattering away from you. Clearly. So Zero, you are up. Go ahead.
Unarmed. That's the one, right? To punch.
That is the one to punch, correct.
Awesome. So Zero kind of squares up, and smiles and then just goes for a jab.
Okay. Okay. So how's that look as you punch him?
So how, Zero is kind of he's not like massively built, but he's tall and super athletic. How tall is Slag?
He's a big boy. He's probably 6'4", on the fatter side, but definitely a lot of muscles. Just fat muscles, basically, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good. So yeah, Zero is just goes into like a boxing stand, squares up, and he just throws a jab at Slag's chin. Kind of light on his feet.
Yeah, you jab him in the chin. He kind of like blinks and he just swings with a wild overhand haymaker, trying to hit you back. Oh yeah. So how does that look as he misses?
So as the haymaker kind of comes across Zero, he waits till the last second and looks like it's gonna hit, and then he kind of just steps back as it just kind of swings past him. He's making it look not too easy to Slag. Like, he wants Slag to believe he has a chance. Mm-hmm. So even though it was missed by a large margin, Zero's kind of moving slowly just to make it look like Slag has a chance.
Okay, and so everybody else just watching and observing, or?
I'm gonna make sure these other two guys that are with him aren't trying to do any shady shit.
They are, they have their arms crossed just watching. You seem that you think they're more interested in what Slag's doing. Almost as if maybe this is some sort of initiation, maybe, or to see how he's handling himself, that sort of thing.
Other than that, I'm just eating food, man. Just watching.
Hayden, you're not going to do anything, or you are going to do anything?
I mean, these other guys didn't really trigger him. I mean, Slag triggered him, earlier, but he's not feeling like...
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just asking.
Yeah, no, but he will move it closer to this table.
Sure. So, Zero, you're up.
And then Zero again goes for a jab.
Okay. He kind of tries to put his hands up to block. Nope. You punch him. Basically he goes and puts his hands up by his face, and you split his guard and hit him in the face.
Yeah, and it's to Zero. He's been in a bunch of fights, and unarmed, he knows that it's anybody's game. But he also plays like a psychological game over here, where he's just trying to make it look that it's light jabs, but they hit hard, right? Clearly making him look like a inexperienced and slow fighter, which he is not.
Mm-hmm. So as he is punched the second time, he just like, ugh, fucker. And you see he reaches into his waistband and draws out a shiv. I was just gonna bust you up. Now I'm gonna fucking kill you. And he tries to tear your guts out with the shiv.
Ooh.
Holy shit.
Nice.
Hope replenished, right?
Yep,
Yeah.
you guys do have hope.
Oh.
So that would hit you for 4 if you're willing to take it.
That's a good question. How do you attack me?
He basically takes the shiv and kind of like tries to just stab you in the guts, but it's more like his arm is straight and he swings kind of like in a pendulum style where it's kind of up towards your waistband.
Awesome. Okay, so just give me a... Okay, so this is what I'm going to do.
Very
I'm
good.
going to let it hit. And then because of the hit, what I'm going to do is I'm kind of locking his arms and using an item that I have.
Okay.
Whenever my chance is to attack, I'm going
It
to
is-
use the trank on him with the needle.
Oh, yeah, he stabs you in the gut, and then what do?
So when he stabs me in the gut, I look up and I smile, and I hold his hand there, not allowing him to retrieve the blade, and that's when I stab him with the trank.
Yeah, I like that. Let's do so go ahead and roll a d20, because you kind of have him there. I think that's good role play. So, so d20 plus your prowess.
That's my prowess one.
Oh God, I don't think you can beat that. Nope. So you nail him with the trank. You stab him with the syringe. He does get a check. Not a good one though. Oh. So you stab him with the syringe. Let me see how much damage that actually does on its own. Roll 1d3. So you inject the trank into him, but he like he's able to kind of fight it off for the moment. But how do you stab him with the syringe, which it does do damage quite badly? You stab it deep into his skin.
Yep. So as he brings the blade into my gut area and I hold it with my left hand, I basically kind of from the back of the small of my back, I pull the trank out and basically shove it up his forearm, jab it completely in, and I smile.
He screams and rages, and he basically takes his hand, since you're grabbing on to his hand with the shiv. He basically just throws a massive headbutt towards your face.
Okay.
So just how close you are together, you're unable to get away. His forehead just hammers across the bridge of your nose, and you just hear a crack, and blood just explode from your nostrils.
Awesome. And I'm like, as the blood is kind of flowing down my nostrils, I'm like smiling at him. It's like chaos. I still have his arm, correct?
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna wrench it to pull the shiv out.
Yeah, you can do that.
Would that be prowess or post check?
No, you can just pull it out. To pull the shiv? Oh, out of his hand?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Post prowess, yep.
Okay.
You do.
Okay. And is that my attack?
Yep, you disarm him. So,
Perfect.
how does that look? How do you get that out of there?
So as the blade is still in my gut, and what I do is I basically, given that the trank is in his forearm, I take my right forearm and basically just kind of give an uppercut to the forearm, just kind of almost like breaking it, just losing his grip off the blade before I pull my left hand and pull the shiv out of my guts.
Yeah, he looks very surprised. And he just throws another wild haymaker at you at that point. Just barely misses. This wild haymaker comes and you just kind of move to the side and the fist grazes your hair and ear.
Yep, and as he does that, my next move is basically going to be, given that he swung and he missed and he's now kind of tranked and he's swinging but there's no technique to his swings, I use that to kind of move behind him and jab the shiv in the throat region.
Okay. Let me
And I'm going, it's almost like a called shot, so if you want to give me an opposed check to see if I can get in that right position, I'm willing to do that.
No, that's okay. Give me 1 second here. You should have a shiv now. Go ahead.
Perfect. So,
Oh, baby.
Good God Almighty, he's killed him.
Fuck up.
Yeah, so you stab him. Where do you stab him at?
So it's basically, it's not really the jugular, but it's like I'm trying to stab him underneath his chin and drag the blade across.
Yeah, you start to kind of try to cut his throat, and he kind of grabs on to try to keep you off of him, and he is attempting to wrench your arm away. And as he does, these thugs kind of step in. They go, "All right, it's enough. Let go."
Seeing the thug step in, I'd like to step in and let him finish.
And they just kind of look at you. 1 second. So he is going to actually try to break free. He is totally torn up though. You'll notice his health bar. That is on purpose. So he's prowess versus prowess.
Okay, prowess. He's not going anywhere.
No, he's trying to get it off, and you're dragging it across his throat, and he's like, "No, no!"
Chaos. Succumb to it. Other words I'm kind of whispering into his ears as I continue to drag the blade across his chin and make him bleed like a stuck pig.
It'd be prowess versus prowess at this point, since you're
Okay. Here goes.
basically wrestling. No, do your D4.
Oh, okay.
I think, or you just roll Shiv. I think it does D4. I'm not sure.
Sorry,
so-
I thought it was still an opposed check. Yeah.
No, you're fine. You're just do the D4. So 3 more damage. So it's like and you're like cutting across. You're not quite to the that should be there. Sorry. So you're not quite like through the skin all the way to the jugular. He's fighting it. Get off me! And he like basically tries to get to your wrist and bite as hard as he can. So I'm just gonna do unarmed for that. You can roll reflexes. No, he's not able to get, like, he tries to bite, but just can't really get around your wrist or forearm.
So as he tries to bite, what I do is I move my hand so it misses his actual jaw, but then it comes back and basically grabs his mouth and holds it in place while the blade is now continuing to move the other direction. So I have now complete control over his face, and the blade is moving across.
You want to roll a D4.
That's good.
So how do you kill him right now?
So I move, like, now that he tried to bite, I'm behind him, my hand is on his jaw, holding it in place. The blade is moving from one end of the chin to the other, and at the last moment, when it's going from the right to the left, at the last minute, I twist and jerk it across. So basically, I rip his entire throat section out.
And blood just squirts everywhere, all over the thugs, Hayden, Tammy, and Manus. And as you do it, you hear, stop, stop, stop. Good.
And the idea behind it is to make it a spectacle, right?
It definitely did.
Yeah. So, and at that point, I stop and I have this look on my face. Something Hayden would very much appreciate, that look.
Oh, God.
Yes. Feed it.
Tammy kind of wipes off her face.
And Zero is intently looking at Hayden, Tammy, and Dr. Manus. It is as much as a spectacle for the rest of the people looking as it is a spectacle for his group. Show of dominance.
Manus takes his glasses off and wipes the blood on his clothes.
Hayden just keeps eating and telling him to feed it.
So the monitors are coming with their tranks out. Are you gonna try to do anything? The thugs are kind of like trying to get out of the way. They don't want to get tranked.
Yep. Given my experience, if you drop to the ground and lay prone, do the monitors tend to stand down or still trank you, or what are the things I've seen people do?
It depends. Probably they won't trank you if you would completely go prone. They would probably just secure you.
Yep. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to secure the shiv somewhere on my clothing, hide it, and then drop prone to the ground with my hands behind my head.
Go ahead and roll wits or reflexes with a D20 unopposed. Roll a D8 opposed.
Okay, so D8 opposed is 1D8 plus my.
No, you won't. You want to go below. Oh, yep, you're right. You're correct. Sorry.
Okay. So plus my. I'm going with wits. You said right. So
You can go wits or reflexes.
Yes, I'm going with my wits.
Okay, so the monitor does not see you stash the shiv on yourself.
And then I'm on the ground, face down with my hands behind my head, fingers intertwined.
It basically quickly one of those small tentacles that you had seen on that monitor from the train. Basically, same thing. It just whips out a rope, swings it around your legs, and basically your arms behind your back, and hog ties you. At this time, a large group of monitors and 1 second. Monitors are coming in. Also, this larger droid, which you have not seen many of these. This is an enforcer, you do know though. And enforcers have essentially a gun, a sonic beamer, and it's like waving it down, seeing if it needs to shoot anyone. What is everybody's reaction? Are they going to do anything? Or...
Tammy just kind of stands down, backing away from the whole situation. So disgusted with the blood on her. She puts her hands up.
Manus will take his now finished plate over to this line, and kind of wipe his hands together, pat his hands down, and then go have a seat and wait to be cleared out. He's assuming since breakfast is likely over with this display.
Hayden's gonna grab the other food in front of him and start eating it.
Over the next 15 minutes or so, the custodians begin to clear out the mess hall. Some of the prisoners are taken back to the cell blocks, which that would include Manus, Tammy, and Hayden, while Zero is taken to solitary confinement, as is some of the other people who started the fight in the back. And as you are being wheeled basically back to your cell blocks, and Zero placed in a very dark and small room, the screen fades to black, and this is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Excellent.